So, the first guitar that I got from PRS is this Custom 24, which I still consider to be their best guitar. And it's probably one of the best. It's like a classic PRS, guitar, and it has all the great attributes that made PRS famous, I guess. It's got a 24 fret neck, beautiful hardware actually. It's got this gold-plated whammy bar, and it's beautiful tuners. It's the action and the intonation of this guitar is absolutely fantastic. This is the guitar that I use mostly on the road, and the climate in India is not really conducive for electric guitars. They take a lot of beating because there's an incredible amount of humidity, where we live in Bombay, and then it's incredibly dry if you grow up north. So I've had this guitar now for 6 years, never had a problem. It's served me really well. And the great thing about this guitar is that not only does it sound huge on stage, it actually records really well. So I use this guitar as my main recording guitar as well. So I've been kind of using this guitar for a while, and the last few years I've been on tour with my band Voyage. And one of the things that I needed on that tour was a second acoustic guitar. So I kind of started traveling with a real acoustic. But when you're playing festivals, it becomes really difficult to be playing and setting up acoustic guitars and getting out of it. So I kind of had a chance to look at this one, which has now become like almost my second guitar. But the way I use it is slightly different. I don't use it like a second guitar. I use it the tuning on this guitar is very different. So I use a DADGAD tuning on this. Some of my songs on my album have that tuning, and it's got an amazing acoustic sound, and it sounds really fat when you play it electric. So you can switch between the two, and both those tones are bang in the center exactly where you want it. It hits that sweet spot, and yeah, it looks beautiful. What's not to like? And the other great thing about this guitar is it actually has two separate outputs. So you can send your acoustic out directly to your DI or to the board or through an acoustic amp. Sometimes I take it through an amp, and the electric output goes into my amp. So you fuse those two outputs, and you get a really nice, rich acoustic sound. So yeah, those are my two touring guitars as of right now, and I'm really, really happy with it. So, I've been a big fan of, PRS guitars. The beautiful thing about PRS is that, they are incredibly well made. They're American-made guitars, and they're built to withstand, all the drudgery and pain of touring and, of the road, basically. My students, whenever they ask me, about which guitars I prefer, and there are so many great guitars out there today. Some classic ones, and new companies making interesting looking models. For me, first of all, the most important thing in any guitar is the neck, of course. So it always starts with this, and how this feels to you, and this is a very personal thing, and it's not an apple to apple comparison. Somebody might like a different type of neck. For me, the way PRS makes their necks are just fantastic. They're really fast necks, first of all. And they feel like it's like a sort of like a glove, that's custom made for your hand. So to me, the neck feels amazing. And then the electronics, of course. These are actually the factory electronics. I haven't changed the pickups on these because they just sound fantastic, just the way they are. So I think there are a couple of things that I look for in a guitar. But the most important thing is, of course, the sound of the guitar. So for me, the projection is really important. Sometimes you'll find that a guitar sounds, differently, through an amp, and then it will sound differently in the studio. So quite often, just to put a quick guitar part down, I'll actually just plug the guitar straight into the mixer, and I'll play it like that, and then I'll reamp it, later on. And I've done that a few times, and they just sound great. This guitar sounds really fat, and it records really well. So not only is it, a very well-built guitar to take on the road, it's a fantastic sounding guitar. So those are the two high-order, bits for me when you're buying a guitar. If you can tick those boxes, I think you're home. And everything else, then the hardware and all the other fancy stuff that comes, I think that's like third and fourth maybe. But I think the two most important things I would say is that the neck, PRS necks are just fantastic, and the electronics and just the way they sound through any amp. And I've played through dozens of amps, so and these guitars always, this one, they'll give you the whole gamut of the tone. They'll give you the stratish tone, they'll give you the less polished tone, so they give you all that, and then it's got some more, so it does its own thing really well. So the pickups are really, really versatile, and what can I say, I just love these guitars. I mean, the Custom 24 for me is their best guitar. It's hard to improve upon this, but I'm sure they're making amazing instruments. But for me, this is it, the Custom 24. Check it out.